Next up on the track, the women's 100-meter hurdles. Gail Devers holds the NCAA and American records, and we'll be watching the middle of the track in lanes 4 and 5. And not surprisingly, our Carol Lewis is high on the Houston Cougar, Jenny Adams.
Go Cougs. Jenny Adams had an outstanding year this year, and she won the women's long jump earlier in the competition, so that must make her very, very confident coming into here. Had a big breakthrough last year at the NCAA championships in the hurdles and is running very well here.
But right next to her on her left, Annika Merriman of Ohio State. This is her third time in the finals for the junior. She finished 5th last year, so she has a lot of experience, plus she has the leading time in the country this year. A very busy young lady at the Big Ten meet. She will be running the 200 a little bit later.
Now the rest of the lane assignments. Kyla Schumake of Arkansas in lane 1, Brandon Copper of Alabama in lane 2, Joyce Bates. Keep a watchful eye on her, an SEC champion and a junior champion in Sydney in '96. She'll be in lane 3. Perdita Felicienne of Illinois will be in lane 6, and Alakisha Williams of South Carolina in lane 7, and Kirsten Baum of BYU in lane 8. Keep an eye on Bates in lane 3, very important for points for LSU. In lane 5, it's Adams. Lane 4, Merriman. Lane 3, Joyce Bates, a win for LSU.
A big win for LSU. I'll tell you, she ran an outstanding race. She was on the inside of the other two favorites, Merriman and Adams, and what she did first would get out of those blocks. And I have to tell you, Merriman is a very tall athlete, and she sometimes has trouble getting out of the blocks as quick as the other athletes. Now, Joyce Bates also had a very fast time this year, but did not run very well in her semifinal race. But, of course, we mentioned in the setup, you needed to keep an eye on Joyce Bates. Bates on the right side of your screen in the white, Merriman and Adams of Houston. Bates gets out of the blocks first and is well ahead. You see her on the right side of your screen in the all-white of LSU. Bates' foot's down first over the first hurdle. And right here, Bates has a very small lead. And right now, you see her pumping towards the line as she opens up for the victory.
This is the kind of stuff that Pat Henry's Lady Tigers did in the early 90s when they had a long winning streak at the NCAA level. She has just given LSU 10 huge points.
There are the official results. Joyce Bates of LSU by 6/100ths of a second. But Carol Lewis, both the place and show category were very productive here.
They really were. Jenny Adams has to be proud of the fact that she scored 18 points, winning the long jump and second in the hurdles. And Annika Merriman has that 200-meter final coming up. She hopes to score some points there.
There you see the women's standings. UCLA still with the lead, but BYU, Arkansas, LSU, and yes, even USC yet to be heard from in the rest of today's finals. Out of Simon Gratz High School in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Joyce Bates, the SEC champion, now crowned NCAA champion. Next up, the men's 400 meters.